Okay, so basically अगर हम Citrix की बात करें, like if someone asks you like what is Citrix, right? So in that case your answer should be simple, like it is a company located in US Florida, and it is popular for virtualization. And from Citrix we are having two most popular applications from Citrix for virtualization. These are known as Gen App and Gen Desktop. So earlier they were known as Gen App and Gen Desktop. Now they guys renamed their product to Citrix Virtual Apps and Virtual Desktop. Means Gen App they renamed to Virtual Apps, and Gen Desktop they renamed it to Virtual Desktop. So this is the kind of basic definition. We want to explore more, like what is Citrix, when it started, whatever the revenue, right? So those kind of things you can get all those details over the Google, but no one ask you. But someone may ask you like, what is Citrix? So in that case, you have to answer like it is most popular for virtualization and having two most popular product, which is known as GenApp and GenDesktop. So earlier they were known as GenApp and GenDesktop. Now they guys rename the product to Virtual Apps and Virtual Desktop. Any doubt here? Clear? Buddy? Yes, no?
Got it, sir. Got it.
Okay. So now here is the working and key components of Citrix, like how Citrix works. So basically, let me open that highlighter, not highlighter, laser pointer. Okay. So basically, Citrix works in two categories. So on your left hand side, this is your end user device, means it could be your like laptop, end user laptop, desktop, or cell phone, Android, whatever it is. Okay. So this is the end user task. Okay. And on the right hand side, this is our entire data center where we have to configure each and every core component of Citrix. And in between, we are having the firewall, right, which is actually restricting the unauthorized access into our network. So this is a task of firewall. So it is not that much mandatory, like you always have to use Citrix NetScaler or Citrix Gateway as a firewall. If you are having any other firewall from Cisco or from any firewall, you can use that. Okay. So this is a kind of like additional thing like Citrix NetScaler. Okay. So now in end user device, what we have to do, we have to install a very basic application which is known as Citrix Workspace or Citrix Receiver. Okay. You have to install that application in end user device, and after that, what user has to do, user has to enter some URL of your storefront. So this is your storefront. So storefront is nothing. Storefront, it is just an URL to your store or to your data center. And once user enters or like open this storefront URL or web page, right? So what will happen? User, that particular query will redirect it to the delivery controller. So delivery controller is nothing. It is a like mastermind or core component of Citrix. So whenever any query reaches the delivery controller regarding from storefront, right? So what it will do? It will forward that query to Active Directory server. So what is the role of Active Directory server? The role of Active Directory server is to authenticate the user credentials, like those credentials are valid or not. Okay, so those kind of queries has been taken care by the uh, Active Directory server. So let's forget about all of those things. So let me tell you one thing, like the core component of Citrix are storefront, delivery controller, studio, director, and license server. So these are the core components. Okay, SQL server and Active Directory server, these are the products from Microsoft. Means Active Directory is for like user authentication, and SQL is a database. It will store the records into the database, like whatever users are doing, when users logging in, when users logging off, right? If there is any error user getting, so all those kind of logs will be there in SQL server. And this one is our hypervisor. So if I talk about the hypervisor, so we are having three major players in that field. So first one is VMware for sure. Second one is Citrix hypervisor, and third one is Hyper-V, which is from the Microsoft. Okay, so whenever you will get like you will go anywhere now into the production, you will get means most probably you will get VMware as a hypervisor only, and apart from VMware, somewhere you will get Citrix hypervisor as well and Hyper-V as well. So hypervisor, it is not the core component. The core components are storefront, which is used for web page. Studio, Studio is a centralized console with the help of that particular GUI tool. Like with that console, you will be able to manage the entire infra. Director, it is used for the troubleshooting perspective. Like if you have to troubleshoot anything in your within your infra, like if any user complaining like his virtual machine is not getting started or there is no application published for that particular user, so those kind of things you will sort it out with the director. And license server, it is something relevant to the license only as per the name. So like if you are operating 100 computers with Citrix license, right? So and now you got some requirement and you need 150 computer more, right? So in that case, what you have to do, you have to purchase the license from Citrix to use that computer particular means additional computers into your infra. Okay, so these are the core components. So what I will do not get confused right now, because we will cover each and everything separately with practicals only, like how to configure storefront, how studio works, what is director. Okay, those kind of things we will cover separately. Okay, and active directory is very basic tool. SQL server you might have some idea about, right? So this is the thing how it works. Now coming to the layers, so Citrix basically works in four layers. So first layer is user layer. Into the user layer, what we have to do, we have to install that application which is known as Citrix workspace in their workspace or computer or laptop, whatever it is. Second layer will be access layer. So access layer, what is the task of access layer? The task of access layer is to make sure like only authorized person will be able to log into your infra. So as you can see, in access layer, you will get storefront. Why storefront? Because on storefront URL, user has to enter their credentials, right? And Citrix ADC, it is a firewall. So these are the access layers through which users are accessing the resources which are hosted in our data center. Coming to the control layer. So control layer is nothing like this is a layer where all of our servers are located, like delivery controller, domain controller, SQL server. So these are the control layers, means they will control the operations. Like if my name is Mahesh Singh and I'm accessing storefront by my username, which is known as Mahesh Singh, so it will be domain controller responsibility to validate my credentials, right? And what delivery controller will do? Delivery controller check like which machine or which application is assigned to me. So those kind of operations will be controlled with the help of control layers. So we will cover everything with practicals in upcoming session. This is just an introduction only. Now, coming to the resource layer. So resource is nothing resources are the applications or desktop for end users, which users has to access. Means if Windows 10 machine is allocated to me, so that particular machine it should be into the resource layer only, right? And coming to the hardware layer, so hardware layer is nothing. It is a hypervisor in which we are having much higher memory, high count of CPU, storage, all those components will be there. This is a basically hypervisor on which we will host all of our machines. Okay. Any doubt here?
Sir, can you explain in simple terms?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it in simple terms?
No, no. Can you please your voice is not clear to me. What you are saying?
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, a little bit, but your voice is very low. I'm not sure if you are using a headphone. Please, go through mic only. Like I'm not sure how far your mic is located actually.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, now it is clear. Yeah, now I can hear you. Yes.
Can you explain hypervisor in a simple term?
Hypervisor is nothing. Okay. So this is my physical machine, okay? And
Okay.
as you can see in my physical machine, if I go to the performance, I am having 16 GB of RAM, right? And CPU with like 8 logical processor, okay? So like, but what I'm doing here, I'm just operating only single machine on this hardware, like which is Windows 10. That's what I'm using right now, right? So that Windows 10 is only utilizing like 6.4 GB of RAM, and rest of the RAM is free, right? So with the help of virtualization or with the help of hypervisor, we can utilize any hardware up to its maximum efficiency. Okay. So for an example, on my machine, I have installed one hypervisor. In my case, my hypervisor is VMware Workstation. Okay. So on this hypervisor, if I turn on this machine, and I can also create multiple machines. So when I turn on this machine now, you will see my memory utilization is increasing now, right? So what I'm doing on single hardware, I'm managing multiple operating systems. Okay. So this is how hypervisor works. Means if I have to, for an example, if I have to create Windows 10 machines for 10 users, right? So I have two options. Either I can purchase 10 laptops for every user, or I can purchase a good configuration server. On that server, I can host 10 Windows 10 machine for my users. So this is how it works. Is it clear? So
Got
you
it,
can,
sir.
yes, so now you can see like my memory utilization is increased. Now it is moved to 10.5 GB, right?
Increased. Okay.
Why it is increased? Because this machine is powered on. So on the same hardware, what I'm doing, I'm using multiple machines, virtual machines. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now coming to the sessions, like how I will take the sessions and how things will work. So what I did, I have categorized the things in 10 lectures. So first lecture is prerequisites and introduction that we are covering right now. In this session, we will discuss like what are the prerequisites, introduction we are covering. Okay. From second lecture onwards, I mean like every lecture will be with the practicals only. Like in the second one, we will learn how to install and configure the delivery controller and core components. In the third lecture, we will learn like how to install and configure the hypervisor. In the fourth lecture, we will set up a site for our infra. In the fifth lecture, we will learn how to create a master image or golden image and how to install the VDA agents. In the sixth lecture, we will learn how to create the machine catalogs. In the seventh lecture, we will learn how to create the delivery group. In the eighth lecture, we will learn how to install the storefront. Ninth lecture is for the testing, like whatever we have completed from lecture second to lecture 8, all those deployment we will check. Like we will check the deployment as an end user. We will open our storefront server, then we will try to launch the our resources. Okay. And 10th lecture is for you. It is totally for the troubleshooting part. Like if you got stuck somewhere, what we will do, we will we will cover the real-time scenario based questions here, right? If SQL server goes down, what will happen? If Active Directory server goes down, what will happen, right? If delivery controller goes down, in that case, what will happen? So those kind of queries we will cover in the 10th lecture. So from second to eighth lecture will be the practical. Ninth lecture is for testing, and 10th lecture is for the backup plan. Like if any server goes down in production, in that case, how to roll back, how to backup, and how to up your infra with additional servers. Okay, so here it is the categorization. Any doubt here?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Now coming to the lab. So how many machines that we must have to create to set up the infra? Okay, so our first machine will be our domain controller, and for domain controller, we have to use Windows Server 2019. and my domain is techamtech.com. In your case, you can change the domain to your name, whatever the name you want to give, you can make it, okay? And to domain controller, I have allocated 2 GB of RAM. Second machine will be our delivery controller. In the delivery controller, we will configure each and every core Citrix core components here only. And the memory I allocated to this machine is 6 GB. And that machine is into my domain, which is techamtech.com. Okay, in your case, domain may be different. Number 3 and number 4 machines are the hypervisors, like this is Gen Server 01, this is Gen Server 02. Why I use two hypervisors? Like if one hypervisor goes down, now in that case, we can easily switch the operations to the second hypervisor. Okay. So this is for second is for the backup purpose. So I have allocated 10 GB RAM to each of the hypervisors. And these two machines are the client machines. Like we will test our deployment with the client machine. These are the Windows 10 machine. And for every machines, I allocated only 2 GB of RAM for testing. And again, I join those machine into my domain, which is techamtech.com. Okay, any doubt here?
No, sir.
Okay, so if I calculate the hardware utilization, so you can see 10 plus 10, 20, then 26, 28, and then 30, 32 GB of RAM hardware should be enough to set up the entire infra. Okay, now coming to the, let me add some new slide here. Okay, now coming to the hardware requirement and software requirement. So first I will go with the hardware requirement. Hardware requirement. So as you can see, like at least 32 GB of RAM. And if I talk about the CPU, so with the current versions of Citrix, okay, with current version of Citrix, so I will recommend at least i5 like 6th gen CPU should be there, and it will be good if you have i7 or i9. I am having i7. Okay, so that will be good enough. Okay, and coming to the hard drive, so hard drive I will recommend at least it should have 512 GB of SSD. I will never recommend the mechanical drive. Okay, now coming to the software requirement, so first software you will be needing it, that will be VMware workstation, that you can easily download from a VMware official website. You will get a free license for I think 30 or 45 days. I'm not getting the exact count, but you will get, okay. From VMware official site you will get it. VM official site. You will get it, okay. What I typed. Okay, now second requirement will be Windows server. So server 2019 ISO media you can download from the Microsoft website. You will get it for free. And Windows 10 ISO media is also required. And Windows 10 ISO media you will also get it from a Microsoft official website at free of cost. Okay, you will get 180 days license to use this at free of cost. Okay, now coming to the Citrix. So Citrix ISO file means Citrix virtual apps and desktop ISO file. I will share the link to you to download that ISO file. And Citrix hypervisor ISO file. I will share the link. And the last one is Gen Center. I will share the link of like for Citrix ISO file. I will share the links to you. And Windows Server ISO file, you can download it from Microsoft website, and this is also you can download from VMware website. Okay. So now let me share in real time only. Okay. So mhm, what is happening? Google not opening. What happened to my internet? Okay. Mm-hmm. Now just finished my cold tea. I forgot to. So I was with you. Okay, no worries. Uh, so,
Sir, your voice is fluctuating.
mhm. Is it clear? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes. Now it's clear.
Okay, so let me copy this get link. Let me copy that link and let me paste that link to you. First link sent, and let's go to the hypervisor. Let me click on get link, copy link. Let me send it here, and let me copy this one as well. Get link, copy link. Okay, so I shared all the three links to you. What you have to do, just click on the links and you will get some options to request access. Just click on that option and I will get one email and I will approve that. And after that, you will be able to download all the three files. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I think you requested for first one. So let me allow this. Okay, first one is allowed. Okay. So now what you have to do, like in your VMware workstation, it's your job to create one domain controller and to create one blank machine with Windows Server operating system, and you can name that machine as a DDC. Okay, what you have to do? You have to like where it is. Okay, you have to create one domain controller. I hope you can create domain controller, right? Is there any issue in that?
No, sir, I'm not familiar with it.
Sorry. Hello.
I'm not familiar with it, sir.
Oh, means okay. No worries. I will show you how to configure this. Okay. And what I can do, I can share one video to you in which I have clearly mentioned how to configure the domain controller. If not, means you can see that video. If still you will not be able to configure now, I will help you in next session. Okay. And Okay, you can do nothing. Do one thing. Just download the ISO medias and create one folder with Citrix and just paste those media files in that folder only. And from tomorrow, or maybe I will try to get some time in evening as well. Okay. So if I will be there into the evening, na, so we will cover that domain controller and that stuff for you. Okay. In the evening. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
So, are you available in evening itself, na? Are you going somewhere or you are on you are on like a week off today?
No, sir. I have to go somewhere, but
Hmm.
I can manage.
Okay,
I
if
will
you
be
can
there in
manage,
the evening.
okay, do one thing. Like when I'm saying it's evening, so like where is clock in this Windows 11? I don't like yeah this Windows 11. Okay, so anyway, it's 8:35 now. So what I can do, I will try to schedule one session after lunch if you can manage like somewhere around 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. if it is okay for you, or else we can connect in the evening by 7 p.m. Okay, just let me know like if you are comfortable in the afternoon, we can connect after lunch. Okay, and if you are okay with the evening, so in the evening we can connect after 7 p.m. only. Okay.
Sir, evening will be okay.
Okay, then no issue because today is weekend now, so I also cannot commit anything because why? Because I'm with my family now, so I'm getting some request from my wife, not my wife, my mother and sister. I'm single, okay, so
Uh,
means I have to go somewhere maybe. So far, nothing decided, okay. So nobody's. So what we can do? Anyway, what I can do whenever I will get time now, I will ping you in advance, right? Like 30 minutes or 1 hour before, okay?
Okay, sir.
So in that case, you can also manage some time, okay? And also please try to, uh, get communicated in English only. It will be really helpful for you, okay? We guys are, we guys are used to now, but it will be really good for you. Means I can teach you in Hindi as well. I have no issue in that, right? But these are the basic kind of things like what we are discussing right now, right? I don't think. Is it complicated for you or is it fine? Whatever I explained to you.
Fine, sir. Fine.
Fine, na? So yeah, it will be good actually, right? So if you want to discuss like something with me, you can always call me on my cell phone. Okay, I have no issue in that. And okay, buddy. So I think I have done with introduction part, and from tomorrow or means from next class, whenever we will schedule, na, we will continue with the second lecture. Okay, means not lecture, the second category. What I decided. Okay, I like how to install and configure the delivery controller. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
thank you, buddy.
I have.
Mm.
Okay.
No, no, you are asking something, right?
No, no, sir. Nothing.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. So what we will do, you can call me on mobile whenever required, okay? And we will connect in the next session with some practicals, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you, buddy. Bye. Have a nice day.